Kevin at 213.7 career net wins, one title, and the greatest waste in NBA history. KG produced 137.2 net wins in Minnesota alone, more than most Hall of Famers generate in their entire careers. He did it while the Timberwolves surrounded him with a cast of players unable to help him win anything. The one time they finally got close, Kevin McHale traded him away. Kevin Garnett entered the NBA directly from high school in 1995, the fifth player in modern history to do so, drafted fifth overall by a Minnesota Timberwolves franchise that had won 21 games. He was 19 years old, 6'11", and unlike any power forward the league had ever seen, a center who could handle the ball like a wing, defend every position from the floor, and pass with a point guard's vision. Over the next 12 seasons in Minnesota, he produced 137.2 net wins, more than most Hall of Famers accumulate in their entire careers. He got approximately nothing in return. The net wins explorer traces all 22 seasons. The story it tells is equal parts extraordinary career and extraordinary organizational fail. Thanks for listening to Net Wins. Subscribe for free at netwins.substack.com for more podcasts and posts like this. His regular season total was 196.2 net wins, another 17.4 in the playoffs for a combined 213.7. He averaged 8.9 net wins per season, a peak of 19.4 in the 2003-2004 season. It's phase one of the Minnesota years from 95 through 2007 of the 137.2 net wins, 0 championships, which is more than Steve Nash produced in his entire career. Ray Allen, a Hall of Famer, two-time champion, and one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, accumulated 137.3 combined career net wins. KG's Minnesota total was 137.2. Both men played approximately 18 to 19 seasons in the league. KG matched their entire career output before he ever left the state of Minnesota. He averaged 12.4 net wins per season across his 11 full years in the Twin Cities, posting 6 seasons above 13 and a peak of 19.4 in 2003-2004. That remains one of the highest single-season figures in the database. His peak trade value that season, 117.65, the mathematical product of 19.4 net wins in his age 27 multiplier. For context, every single free agent and trade candidate this newsletter is analyzed in the 26 off seasons had a lower trade value than 2003-2004 Kevin Garnett. DeAndre Ayton, the player who generated the best contract value of the summer at $8.1 million for 6.4 net wins, had a trade value of $5.82. KG's peak was 3 times higher. What did Minnesota do with this? Almost nothing. The Wolves' playoff record during the Garnett era is one of the most damning organizational failures the net wins data can illuminate. In 11 playoff appearances between 1997 and 2004, Minnesota's combined playoff net wins for KG was 6.1 across all runs combined, dwarfed by his regular season output in a single peak year. The franchise never built adequately around him. The supporting cast cycled from mediocre to worse, while KG continued producing at the highest individual level in the Western Conference. The 03-04 season was the one time it came together. The Wolves added Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell, won 58 games, and reached the Western Conference Final. KG won the MVP award that season, averaging 24.2, 13.9, and 5. His playoff net wins that year, 3.3, respectable, but limited by a team that ran out of gas against the Lakers in 6. The window closed almost immediately. Cassell and Sprewell both left, and Minnesota never threatened again. Thanks for listening to Net Wins. The database is located at willf123.github.io/NBA-net-wins. The McHale trade, organizational malpractice at scale. In 2007, Kevin McHale, general manager of the Minnesota Timberwolves and former Boston Celtic, trade Kevin Garnett to the Celtics. The return, Al Jefferson, Ryan Gomes, Sebastian Telfair, Gerald Green, Theo Ratliff, and 2 first-round picks. Garnett's age at the trade, 31. His 2006-2007 net wins, 9.3, still producing at a high level. His trade value at the time of the deal, 8.49, significant, but already well below his Minnesota peak due to 4 years of aging curve decay. The conflict of interest accusations were immediate and lasted for years. McHale trading a generational talent to the franchise he had won championships with for a package built around a 22-year-old center, and Jefferson, who would never approach KG's level, is remembered as one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history. Net wins quantifies exactly how lopsided. Garnett produced 53.1 net wins in Boston between 2007 and 2013. Jefferson's entire career with Minnesota and everywhere else never approached comparable output. The 2 first-round picks produced nothing that changed the franchise's direction. Minnesota went from building around a 31-year-old KG to rebuilding without him, entering a wilderness that lasted another decade. Phase 2, the Boston Championship. The Big Three measured. Kevin Garnett arrived in Minnesota, joined Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Rajon Rondo. The Celtics, who had won 24 games the previous season, won 66 the next. KD posted 13.6 net wins, his highest since 01-02, despite being 31 years old as the defensive anchor for a team that prioritized stops above everything else. The 07-08 playoffs produced 4.3 playoff net wins, his highest single playoff run across 26 games that ended with a championship over Kobe Bryant's Lakers. Garnett's role in that title run was almost entirely defensive. He held lanes, switched on to guard, communicated coverages, and produced at a level that validated everything every Minnesota team had failed to build around him. So in the written companion piece with this at netwins.substack.com, I go through each season where his role changed from a star defensive anchor all the way to aging but productive in his final Boston season in 2013. The 2008-09 seasons, the one anomaly, a patella tendon injury, ended his year early, and the Celtics lost to Orlando in the second round without him. His 2010-2011 resurgence to 9.8 at age 32 is one of the more remarkable age curve defiances in this database. Most power forwards are well below 7 net wins by 34, and KG was approaching 10. So his 213.7 combined career net wins placed him 10th on the all-time net wins leaderboard. For reference, we have LeBron at 1, Karl Malone at 5, Michael Jordan at 8, Nowitzki at 9 with almost exactly the same at 214.2, Kobe at 11, just behind Garnett, John Stockton, David Robinson at 21, Ray Allen at 43, Steve Nash at 44. The bottom 2 entries in that table are the most telling. Ray Allen and Steve Nash, Hall of Famers, all-time greats, each accumulated approximately 137 combined career net wins. What makes his career remarkable analytically is it holds up across multiple eras and roles. As a 19-year-old in Minnesota, he produced 3.7 net wins while learning the league. As the best player in the NBA at 27, 19.4. As a 31-year-old, complimentary piece in Boston, 13.6. As a 34-year-old veteran, 9.8. The aging curve bent for him in ways it bends for almost nobody. The unanswerable question: the Minnesota era produced 137.2 net wins and 0 championships. The question that haunts the career is the counterfactual. What if a competent front office had built around him? The net wins data doesn't answer that. It documents what actually happened. The greatest power forward in a generation, producing at the highest individual level in the Western Conference for 12 seasons, stranded on rosters that couldn't convert his output into postseason success. The one time they assembled a team worthy of him, 2003-2004, they ran it for exactly 1 season before dismantling it. 213.7 career net wins, 1 title. The math of what could have been is left as an exercise for the reader. The net wins formula and all written content are original works. All rights are reserved. I appreciate your time. Thank you.